Project Runway is back again with its 21st season, and episode 6, titled Hit the Streets, was all about streetwear. On paper, this sounded like a fun challenge because streetwear has become one of the biggest influences in modern fashion. But as the episode rolled out, it quickly turned into one of the weakest installments of the season so far. Between vague instructions, messy designs, and strange judging, the show delivered an episode that left a lot of fans frustrated. Let's go through everything that happened in detail, from eliminations to shocking wins, and why this challenge exposed both the best and worst of the designers. The episode opened with the elimination of Madeline. This was not surprising because she had struggled with her confidence and her design direction for weeks. Madeline admitted that she felt like a fish out of water, and while her exit was predictable, her farewell was actually charming. She winked at the camera and said, "Come and buy clothes from me. I need to make a living." It was a cute moment, but ultimately she never really had enough screen time or strong designs to make a lasting impression on the competition. Once she left, the other designers went right back into their usual mix of confidence, nerves, and drama. Jesus couldn't help bragging about his unshakable bond with Antonio, his twin in spirit, if not in reality, while VJ rolled her eyes in the background. And Antonio, still salty about Nina's tough critique last week, decided that this week he would design to prove her wrong. Then Heidi came in with the new challenge D, create a streetwear look that represents each designer's personal brand. The problem: Heidi and Law's description of streetwear was extremely vague. They said streetwear is a mindset. But what does that even mean? Fashion is subjective, but streetwear has developed its own categories, usually involving layering, comfort, mix, and match separates, and accessories like bags, belts, and sneakers. Without proper guidelines, every designer had their own conflicting interpretation, which made the whole challenge messy from the start. Instead of showing them real examples of streetwear in New York or setting some clear rules, the show basically left them to guess. At Mood, Christian wasn't there to guide them because of another client fitting. His absence was felt immediately, since his advice about fabric choices is usually invaluable. One designer who badly needed his guidance was Miss Joan. She ignored all the lessons Christian had given in past challenges, like not spending all your budget on one fabric. She blew all 450 on just 3 yards of a loud, multicolored fabric with neon fringe. It was busy, tacky, and overwhelming, but Joan was convinced it would be perfect for her Harlem-inspired suit. Even when other designers hinted that it was ugly, she stuck with it. Meanwhile, Ethan openly admitted he had never designed streetwear before. His background is in drag and stagewear, so his first attempt at a strappy black and silver top looked more like Bob Mackie than street style. Jesus also struggled, putting together a stiff houndstooth coat that Christian compared to something worn by a dad in London with an umbrella. Belania confused everyone by saying Audrey Hepburn was her streetwear inspiration. Audrey may be timeless, but streetwear is not what people usually associate with her. And then there was Yuchen, who supposedly specializes in streetwear. This was supposed to be his moment to shine, but instead he spiraled. His original alien-inspired hoodie idea collapsed, his execution was poor, and the final product looked rushed and underwhelming. The editing didn't help either. We didn't see enough of Yuchen's work process to understand how things fell apart. By the time the runway rolled around, most designers were scrambling to finish. Ethan didn't even have pants for his model until the very last hours. The guest judges this week were designer Christian Cowan and supermodel Joan Smalls, joining Heidi and Law on the panel. Here's what each designer sent down the runway. Jesus G. A long silver houndstooth jacket with a pink puffy lining and paint splatters, paired with a mini skirt and bandeau top. VJ. A cropped pinstripe jacket with leather accents and D-rings, matched with pants featuring black leather patches. Antonio. A cropped jacket and oversized pants made from his neon tribal print, accessorized with a fuzzy teddy bear bag. Ethan. A strappy black and silver leather top with a panel, seam jacket and leather pants. Belania. ZA navy and white polka dot corset with a long back train, layered over an Oxford shirt and paired with khaki cargo pants. Joan eats a Harlem-inspired suit in her neon-patterned fabric, with dramatic cape sleeves and a matching hat. Yuchen. A distressed white hoodie layered with neon green, plus black cargo pants covered in zippers and straps. The judges' reactions were quick. They liked Belania. They hated Joan and Yuchen, and they surprisingly loved Antonio. Belania's look stood out because it felt young and authentic, even if her explanation about Audrey Hepburn made no sense. Her outfit looked like something she herself would wear, which gave it credibility. Joan Small's comment that the model looked ready to stunt on hoes was accurate. It had an energy that matched streetwear, even if her storytelling didn't land. Antonio, on the other hand, got praise for being bold and professional, even though many viewers thought his fabric looked cheap and outdated. His teddy bear bag in particular divided the judges, but Heidi admired that it was risky. Antonio basked in the compliments and smugly wished Nina was there to see it, convinced she would have praised him. When it came to the bottom looks, Joan defended her Harlem-inspired suit with confidence. She explained her inspiration clearly, linking it to Zoot suits and Harlem's fashion history. Unfortunately, the judges thought it was too costume-like and outdated. Law roasted her by saying it looked like something for church, which was both funny and cutting. Yuchen, on the other hand, crumbled. He admitted he hated what he made, and the judges were visibly disappointed. Law went so far as to say he wanted to beat him up out of frustration, which was harsh but captured the overall disappointment. They felt Yuchen just recreated a generic Balenciaga look without adding anything new. In the end, Belania was crowned the winner, making her the only contestant with 2 wins this season. Antonio was runner-up, and the safe middle included Ethan, Jesus, and VJ. That left Joan and Yuchen at the bottom, and the episode ended on a cliffhanger about who would go home. The judges debated whether they valued taste over talent or talent over taste, and it was genuinely hard to predict who would survive. The episode also had some fun side moments. Ethan tried to explain the meaning of cunty to Joan in a hilarious scene filled with purring and cooing noises, reminiscent of Marisa Tomei in My Cousin Vinny. Belania's impression of Christian was spot on and perfectly edited for laughs, and Law's shady but hilarious line about Joan's suit being a "praise the Lord" outfit was an instant meme moment. Still, the fun bits couldn't hide the fact that the episode felt unfocused and underwhelming compared to what Project Runway can be. Looking at the bigger picture, this episode showed the cracks in the season. The lack of clear rules for challenges leaves designers confused. Christian's skipping mood was a big loss. and Nina's constant absence hurts the judging dynamic. Without her, decisions like putting Antonio in the top feel even more questionable. And as for the contestants, Belania is proving she has both taste and adaptability, while Yuchen, who should have owned this challenge, is struggling under pressure. With only a handful of designers left, the show needs to tighten up its editing and give viewers more time in the workroom to actually understand the creative process. Overall, Hit the Streets was a disappointing episode, but it still gave us important insight into the remaining contestants. Belania is emerging as a frontrunner, Antonio continues to be smug and divisive, Joan may not survive much longer, and Yuchen is at a crossroads. The drama is definitely building, and with the next cowboy theme challenge teased, it looks like things will only get wilder.